Scuba diving rental gear is much like your first car. Sure, it has all the features and capabilities of a real car, but it's been used by lots of other people who've just done many things inside, and the potential problems may not all be immediately obvious. Rental gear is a necessary evil and a very pragmatic way of saving on your baggage allowance in some cases. So you can save yourself some money, but you're diving in, or at least with, someone else's gear, so it is best to check it out before diving 30 meters under the water with it. My first thought when it came to this Friday 5 feature was to base checking out your rental gear based on your 5 senses. Sight, smell, touch, hearing, and taste. After I came back from my happy place, thinking about the taste of a rental wetsuit, I thought I'd give it a go because it'll be funny and also informative, so let's give it a go. Based on your 5 senses, here are the best ways to check your rental gear. Look over your gear. Many places will thrust just a bunch of gear at you and then sort of shuffle you along, but take your time, check it over beforehand. Basically, you're paying for it after all. If the gear looks like it's older than you are, then just ask if they have something more up to date. It's a simple question. Check over the hoses of your regulators. They should be smooth and firm with no sort of lumps or bumps or crusty bits on them. If you can, check over the exhaust diaphragm on the second stages. I've had one fill up with water at 30 meters only after I looked up at the surface. Have a play around with your dive computer as well. There's no point strapping it to your wrist if you don't actually know what it's trying to tell you. You can smell when scuba gear has been used too much and not cared for in between dives. At my last dive center, we would wash and hang every single suit and BCD let them drip dry completely before putting them away, but they still smelt funky. Some smells only fire can get rid of, and if your wetsuit smells particularly ripe, then just ask for a fresh one. Worst case, they say that that's the only one they have in your size, but you're no worse off, are you? But just remember that when the suit is this suit is going to be pressed against your bare skin when other people have been doing Lord knows what's inside, and it's like worked its way into the fibers, and it's wetsuits aren't breathable.
Sweaty butt crack!
You can feel the difference between a manky suit and a decent one too. Just bear in mind that rental suits tend to be built to last, not to be comfortable, so they will have a rougher lining compared to a premium suit. But check to see if a suit has some spring in it, kind of get a section of it and kind of squidge it between your fingers. So season suits will be compressed, so while it may say 5 mil on the label, it will probably be compressed to about 3 mil by now, making it a lot colder when you're in the water. So try to make sure that your suit feels a little bit springy. Also try it on and take your time with it. I've been sat on a rib feeling drowsy because the neck seal was so darn tight around my neck that it was literally cutting off blood flow. It felt snug when I was trying it on, but over time, because it was a brand new dry suit, the neck seal hadn't been stretched, so it was just choking me out on the boat.
I heard you like getting choked out. You love it.
Again, back to regulators. They shouldn't creak or rattle too much. Bear in mind that some second stages and SPGs will rattle a little. That's fine, it's just the way the mechanism inside is built, but there shouldn't sound like there's a loose screw inside and anything rattling around too much. Connect your regulators to a cylinder as well and listen to the air movement inside. It should be nice and smooth. Try to check out how the valve sounds when you breathe from it. Most will make a noise when you exhale on the surface, a kind of noise. That's fine, don't worry about that noise. Basically, any noise when you exhale should be fine. It's any noise that comes from the exhaust mushroom. It's basically the exhaust mushroom vibrating, but it won't vibrate when the water is actually against it. If there are any unusual noises on the inhale though, then that's going to get annoying, and it also means that the regulators might be in dire need of a service too. Onto our favorite sense now. Your nose and your tongue work together so that your body can experience the world around it and prevent you from consuming poisons or gathering infectious pathogens. So if you're feeling that physical urge to reel away from a rental suit, then your body knows best. That kind of smell that you can taste in the back of your throat. In all seriousness, taste can also be quite important to identify a dodgy air fill as well. If you're testing your regulators and the air smells or tastes, a little bit off, then it's best to leave that tank well alone. It's not a strong taste, I'll warn you, but it's that kind of faint taste or smell that you get around an engine exhaust. Best case scenario, you end the dive with a nasty headache. Worst case is a lot worse. So make sure your stuff fits. That pair of boots that kind of rub a little bit when you try them on will rub a lot during an hour-long dive. And socialize with other divers beforehand who've been in the water recently. There's no point in renting a 5mm full-length suit if everyone else is just diving in a rash vest, so you can save yourself some money. So what do you guys look for in your rental gear? But what do you rent and what do you bring yourself? Apart from lead in a tank, I tend to bring my own stuff because I know it works, I know who's spat in my regulators, Sean, and I know how my computer works. If you enjoyed this video, then please push all of those little social buttons, except the dislike button though, that one doesn't do anything important. But all those other ones, they're cool, they do some sort of fun things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stick around to see some of our other videos. Yeah, thanks for watching, and safe diving. We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.